Good afternoon, Dr. McKenzie. Thank you for coming here today. Are you under subpoena to be here today?
Yes.
And
Ooh, this sound is
you were
atrocious.
served a subpoena from both sides?
Yes.
Do you remember seeing the person on my right, Emani Ellis, in your office, medical office?
Yes.
Do you remember why she came in?
All right, this is the victim's alleged psychologist.
Workers' comp injury.
And if you just tell us a little bit about your education and background, please.
What exactly is it you would like to know?
Yes. You're a psychologist, correct?
Yes.
You deal with emotional
You want to know if
injuries.
she know what she's doing.
Yes.
What else do you deal with as a psychologist?
Primarily emotional injury.
Do you ever deal with physical injuries?
No.
If a patient were to tell you about their physical injuries, is that something that you would want to know for the reason of coming up with a diagnosis, or is that just something general that you may or may not want to know?
Objection. Compound.
I'm free to answer?
No.
No, he
When
got to
the judge will
separate
say
the question.
sustained, then we will not answer.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
There was two questions at once.
All right. Approximately how long after? Do you remember the date of when you saw Miss Ellis?
Not the exact date. I believe it was 2018 just because of the year listed either on the subpoena. But it's been a while.
Okay, there's a notebook in front of you, the one on your right. If you could open it to Exhibit 4, I will just show you your own medical records to ask you if they are your medical records.
You said 4?
I'm sorry, number 2, I apologize.
Yes.
And if you look at the bottom right corner, in our exhibit book 2-001 through 2-023, all those pages, if you have a moment just to quickly look through and just confirm that those are in fact your medical records, correct? And you can take your time if you need to.
Objection. I think it says to refer medical records.
Yes.
He's just asked me to look at the records right now.
They killing me with this noise.
Yes.
At the time of the incident, did Miss Ellis advise you she was making $13.50 an hour?
Yes, according to the report.
Okay, is that something relevant? Why would you put that in the report? Does it have to do with the
That's terrible.
lost wages, or why would that be in the report?
Objection. Compound.
Was $13 an hour as a security guard, and you was at a medical facility. They was only paying you $13 an hour.
Like I said, it's been a while, and so from what I can remember, that information is usually included in all reports for clients who come in for workers' comp injuries.
And at that time, in 2018, you worked for Management Inc.
Yes.
And what is Management Inc.?
It is a psychological corporation that typically provides psychological treatment and evaluations for people who have sustained industrial injuries.
Have you always maintained a license of PsyD, or was it PhD at one point? Did it change, or it's always been the PsyD?
It has always been SEDI.
So you never went into like family, LA MFT or You don't have any of the other licenses. You went straight for this?
Yes.
Okay. And how long does it take to get this type of license after undergraduate degree?
After undergraduate degree,
Yeah.
roughly 6 years.
So in order to become a psychologist after high school, you spent approximately 10 years, is that fair?
Yes.
And what is the distinction between a PsyD and a PhD? Is there a difference?
The main difference that I can report is PsyDs are more clinically focused on psychological treatment versus PhDs can also provide clinical treatment, but they can also focus more on research.
Okay. And before today, it's probably been several years before you looked at your medical file, correct?
Yes.
And that's because you no longer work at Managed Med, Inc. You opened your own practice or work for a different practice, correct?
I work for a different employer.
And when you worked for Managed Med, you were an employee for them?
Yes.
Now, if you look at the first page of your report, date of injury, it says 2/24/18. Do you know if that's accurate?
Objection, Flax Foundation, Culture Sector.
Sustained. That's also vague.
I'll represent to you that the date of incident is February 24, 2018. That's the date of the injury. And that's the date it says in your report, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then it says the date of your examination, April 26, 2018. Do you know if that date is accurate?
I believe so.
All right, and then if you go to Exhibit 2-5, the fifth page, there's another report which has a different exam date. Do you see that?
Yes.
And that was August 10th of 2018, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Without going into the expert reasons or the psychological reasons or anything like that, I just want to understand. You asked the patient to come back a second time, correct?
They were asked to come back several times after the first visit.
Okay. And if there was nothing wrong with them, would they come back for a second visit? If you know, do you know?
Flax Foundation, Culture Sector.
Sustained.
When you
Child.
see a patient, not this patient, one time for the first time, and there's nothing wrong with them, would you see them a second time, or you usually say, I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with you, goodbye?
Objection, Compound, Flax Foundation, Culture Circulation.
You can answer.
I would see them a second time.
And if you go
Okay,
back
so
to
I think she's
the
saying
page-
she would
page-
only see them twice. She wouldn't see them multiple times if she didn't see that they needed her assistance.
1, which is 2-001. In the first paragraph, you go through a job description of what the patient came to see you for. You basically have a job description of what your patient was doing at the time of the incident, correct?
Objection, vague.
Yes.
Okay. And what was her job title from what you see? What would it be?
Security guard.
And you did a comprehensive psychological evaluation of Emani Ellis, correct?
Objection.
Bro.
Wasn't designated.
Yes.
He just objecting to any and everything. Shut up, whispering. You were so strong to say it before. When your client was up there.
How long did you spend with her on that day, if you know?
For the preliminary evaluation or the psychological evaluation?
The whole thing combined on February 26th of 2018. You may not have an exact time frame, but I want to know that based on your experience for this type of care, how many minutes did you spend with Emani Ellis on that day?
I cannot recall.
Was it more than an hour?
It may have been.
In general, when you see the patients to go over their emotional injuries, how long do you usually spend with them? Is it usually an hour, 30 minutes? I mean, there is a minimum, right?
Right, on the initial visit, typically an hour to an hour and a half.
Okay, and then on page 2-002 on that exhibit, towards the bottom, you, in quotes, have some profanities that are in your report. Is there a reason why you would write profanities in your report?
Well, she wrote profanities.
Just to capture the client's report in their own words.
Oh,
And the patient told you that the celebrity made the profanities?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
According to the report, yes.
And the profanities were F you fat ass, sorry to say it, bitch. That's why you do security. That's why I'm going to get you fired. That's why I'm rich and you're poor. That's what
Okay.
you wrote there, correct? In quotes.
Yes.
these were the words that she was saying affected her so much.
Do you have a dictation machine where you record them saying these words?
I write it down, and there are times when I did use a dictation machine.
When the patient was telling you this information, did you use that information in your diagnosis and treatment of the patient?
Objection, as understood.
Overruled.
This statement,
Yes.
I can't say that I did.
Why is it important to write down these profanities in your report for a psychologist? Why did you feel it was important to put that in your report? Why?
With regards to workers' comp injuries, we try to document clients' statements using their own words.
Right. Are you aware that in workers' compensation, the applicant is held to the laws of perjury and must be honest and truthful in their reports of injuries? Is that your understanding as a doctor?
Yes.
Objection,
Overruled.
And at the end of a lot of these reports, you yourself will declare under penalty of perjury that everything is accurate. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay? And in fact, if we go to 2-004, at the end of your report, you do in fact write that, and you sign that. Is that your signature there?
Yes.
Okay. And it says, I further declare under penalty of perjury that I have not violated the provisions of California Labor Code Section 139.3, 139.31, operative January 1st of 94, with regard to this evaluation of this patient on the preparation of this report. Why is this paragraph always written in these reports?
Objection, last
Do
foundation.
you know?
Overruled.
Just to make a statement that the information we gathered is true to our knowledge.
Do you ever, or have you ever treated a patient on a lien basis?
I want to say yes. The majority of clients that come in for workers' comp injuries, I believe they're treated on a lien basis.
Okay. So what that means is you see the patients, you submit a bill, and then you wait to get paid at a later time. Correct?
The corporation would submit a bill and wait to get paid at a later time.
And sometimes they're denied. Correct?
Correct.
Do you know if yours was granted or denied?
I cannot recall.
Now, I really want to understand one thing. As a psychologist, if I came to you and I said, I broke my middle finger, I injured my left shoulder, I broke my knee, I broke my back, I fell on the ground and I hit my head and I got a big bruise on my head and I have psychological issues. Would you really be focusing on the physical or would you be more focused on the psychological?
I would focus on the psychological injuries that were a result of the physical injuries.
Okay. So it would be nice to know those details, but you probably wouldn't write verbatim, word for word, the physical injuries, correct?
My focus would be the psychological injuries.
So if there were physical injuries here, for example, if there was a scar or a scratch or something physical and it's not perfectly mentioned here, does that mean it didn't occur?
I don't know how to answer that question. Usually, from what I can recall, if it's documented in one of the intake forms, I will address it or mention it, but I can't recall whether it was or was not.
Are you aware that in this case, the defense has designated a Dr. James Rosenberg as a psychiatrist in this case? Are you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that Dr. Rosenberg will not be testifying about any physical injury?
Objection, Your Honor.
If the patient that you see does tell you about their physical injuries, and you do want to know about it and put it in your report, or would you then come up with a diagnosis as to the physical injury or not?
No.
You don't treat any physical injuries, correct?
No.
If Emani Ellis came to you that day on February 24th, 2018 with a cut in her face, would you do anything to treat the cut?
No.
No.
What would you tell her? You tell her to leave and go to the hospital or go to a medical doctor, correct?
If a patient comes and they have a physical injury, typically they are referred to a physical doctor to address those injuries.
Okay.
Aside from the cut to Miss Emani Ellis's face, did Miss Emani Ellis complain about any other physical injury to you?
Objection, argumentative.
His next question should have been, was she referred to a medical doctor for any injuries to her face?
Contrary to the evidence.
I can only report on the physical symptoms that were included in the report, and that states headaches and trouble sleeping.
But how about physical injury to the body, like her face, her neck, her back? Was there anything physical that was really documented by you as a psychologist?
I would have to read through the report, but I cannot recall.
So she don't recall her even having a cut on her face when she came in for the workers' comp stuff.
And what is MMPI? What does that mean?
That's a psychological test.
And you did that test for this patient?
She completed the test, and it was interpreted.
And what does it entail to do the MMPI test? What does the patient have to do?
It is a questionnaire. I cannot recall if it's 500 and something odd questions, true and false, that ask about various symptoms.
And you did the test, you had her do the test in your office?
I believe she completed the test, and it was scored by my office and interpreted.
Okay. And you were paid for that test? You billed for that test, correct?
I believe so.
And after that test, on Exhibit 2-017, if you can look at that page, date of exam, November 26, 2018. Do you see that?
Yes.
So after you did the test, you then decided to do a psychological reevaluation, correct?
Yes.
And on page 2 of that report, which is Exhibit 2-018, you have some diagnoses that you've written in your report.
Yes.
And you again declare under penalty of perjury that all of this is accurate, and that's your signature on Exhibit 2-19.
Yes.
And if you look at Exhibit 2-20, your office billed $600 for treatment on that date, April 26, 2018, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if you were paid for that or not?
I do not.
And then if you look at the following page, Exhibit 2-21, there's some additional dates which I want to go over with you. August 10th of 2018, you billed $300 for treatment, is that correct?
You said August 10th,
August 10th of 2018.
2018. There's several.
Yeah, the first two. 150 and 150, correct?
Yes,
So that's the second time she came to you, correct?
I believe so.
As far as the records say. Yes?
Yes.
And then on May 18th of 2018, again, $150 for individual psychotherapy, correct?
Excuse me, was there actually relevance to all of this, given that
It's okay.
Yes.
In looking at your bill, which would be Exhibit 2-20, 2-21, and 2-22. I count approximately 7 different dates of service that you treated this patient. Is that accurate? Did you see her 7 times?
Sorry, signature.
yes, relevance, Your Honor. Foundation, but also relevance.
And overall.
Is that true?
I can't say whether I saw her 7 different times.
Okay.
Typically, when clients were seen at the corporation, I would see them initially. They would then be referred to a psychological assistant for treatment. And then I would see them several times after just to sort of check in and do reevaluations on their progress.
Okay, I understand. How about this then? Ms. Emani Ellis, according to this bill, came to Managed Med Inc. on seven different occasions, 7 different dates between April 26, 2018 and January 15th of 2019. Just the number of visits. Do you agree with that, doctor?
According to this bill, yes.
And if my math serves me correct, the combined billing that your office billed Ms. Ellis or Ms. Ellis's work comp was $5,087. Is that correct?
Damn.
If you were to add $600, $3,787. Actually, it's there for you on the last page. 2-23, total lien. You see the total lien?
Yes,
Okay.
$5,087.
All right. And so then, in fact, you did treat her on a lien basis, correct?
Correct.
And then you do that
That's
all
what
the
she
time
said.
when you work for Managed Med.
Yes.
It's a routine procedure.
Yes.
Nothing improper to do that, right?
No.
Objection.
Sustained.
Okay. Are you familiar with CPT codes?
Billing codes?
Yes.
Not that familiar.
But you have to know them for your practice?
I don't because I don't bill.
Is it reasonable for a psychologist to charge $600 for 2 hours of psychological treatment?
Objection.
Sustained.
It depends.
It's the objection sustained.
You don't have to answer when he says sustain. She keep answering the question still.
And the MMPI exam that Ms. Ellis did, do you know approximately how many hours it took her to complete the 500 questions?
Objection lies.
Overruled.
I don't know how long it took her. Typically, it will take the clients several hours to complete them, depending on their reading level.
Okay. You think it would be less than or more than 4 hours?
It might be less than 4 hours.
Okay, and then if I can go to Exhibit 2-13. In the discussion, it says that she was referred for psychological evaluation. Who referred her to you, do you know? Sorry, 2-013 in the right-hand corner. And it's right under discussion in the second paragraph. Oh, sorry, first paragraph, in the middle of the page. Do you see that there?
213, the middle of the page.
Yeah, Miss Emani Ellis was referred for psychological evaluation. Does that mean she's referred to you, or you're referring her to somebody else?
She was referred to the clinic.
Do you know how she was referred to the clinic?
Most clients are referred through their attorney.
Okay, and that's the workers' compensation attorney?
Yes.
Do you know who that attorney would be? It's not me.
According to the report, it's the employee legal advocates.
And then in the next paragraph, it talks about the fact that she was conducting regular patrols at the building, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that she came into contact with a female music celebrity. Are you familiar? I wasn't asking a question yet. The question is this: are you familiar with the actress or celebrity, musician, rapper, Cardi B?
Yes.
Yes.
You know her?
Yes.
How do you know her?
Through television.
Do you respect her work?
Objection
Sustained.
Oh my gosh.
Are you a fan of Cardi B?
Objection
Sustained.
Do you have any bias to testify in favor of the plaintiff or the defendant in this case?
No.
No? You either way, you're just here to tell the truth, correct?
Correct.
And
briefly. Your Honor,
I get a pen.
What's that? New pen for juror number 5, please. We're going to have to rewrite the budget for pens and paper. Overruled.
let me ask you, Dr. Counsel had referring to if he had shown up with a broken finger, broken back, broken other body parts. Let me ask you, if plaintiff had shown up with physical injuries?
Objection, Your Honor, this exceeds the scope of my...
Overruled.
If plaintiff had shown up with scarring and bruises or broken back, even if she came for a psychological evaluation, would you have noted it?
If she reported it, yes.
If she reported
And
it.
everything in the report, all the factual assertions, for example, at page 2 of those 2 exhibits, those are what plaintiff told you, and you do not know whether in fact she was telling the truth, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I did not receive any depositions or other supporting documents to counter what she was reporting.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I should separate that. First of all, everything that we've been talking about on page 2, that's just what plaintiff told you, right?
Correct.
And you don't know if that's true, right? You don't, I'm sorry,
I
you
don't.
don't know if what she told you is true.
Right. I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't
That's
there.
all the questions I had.
All right. Any questions from the jury? If a physical injury is not reported to you, is there any reason you would still take a note of it?
Do I just answer yes or no, or
Or you can
explain?
explain.
From what I recall, when individuals were referred for treatment, they were asked to fill out paperwork. On that paperwork, they were asked to document if they had physical injuries or physical pain
there's
symptoms.
a paper that asks you, do you have any physical injuries from whatever, because you filing a workers' comp. So if she did not list any physical injuries and the doctor did not witness any physical injuries, it's not going to be listed and she's not going to be referred to a medical professional for that.
In those situations, I would review it and include those in the report.
So, so the court's going to ask you some follow-up. So when the patient is coming in, they provide their responses to questions relating to their history and physical, correct?
Correct.
And so they would note any physical symptoms, whether or not they related to the reason for their visit.
Correct.
All right. And that's all part of the form?
Yes. They have to say all of that shit before they get in there. It has to be on the form. Like what? And usually if they have a fucking injury, that's what they talking about when they get in there. That they have an injury and now they have blase blase blah because of this injury that was caused during whatever work accident happened.
Was it your practice that if the psychological trauma was caused by a physical injury, that you would note that on your chart?
Yes.
Do you recall actually seeing any marks on plaintiff's nose or cheek?
I do not recall.
All right.
I think those are the jury's questions. Good questions, jury.
Any follow-ups from counsel regarding those questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
You earlier testified about the attorney filling out this form.
And it's the attorney who actually puts on what the patient is coming to see you for, correct?
Objection is taken because as to what form.
The form you just spoke about.
Overall.
Correct.
Do you have the form?
I do not.
Where is the form?
With the Psychological Corporation.
Right. So we really don't know what the form says at all, correct?
I do not.
So when the court asked you this question, you're not sure what relates to this case as a general response to the form as to any of the patients, correct?
Like I said, I cannot recall.
And the question about, we'll strike that. I just want to ask you, the form that you're talking about that's filled out by the attorney, do you,
The claim form is filled out by the
the
attorney.
claim form, this form that is issuing out, would an attorney ever put physical injury so that you?
That's not the form she talking about. That's a whole different form. When you go to the doctor, they give you forms to fill out. Her attorney filed a claim for her to go to this doctor. So once she got to the doctor, she had forms to fill out. Those forms should have said to her, do you have any kind of medical injuries that affected you or that you feel that you have been affected by or is continuously affecting you that you have experienced during any kind of work accident or work incident or something like that. That's what the forms are asking. So she would have had to fill out whether or not she had some kind of injury and if this injury was causing her some kind of psychological issues or physical issues, both.
Would then treat the patient for physical injury, or every time you get the form, it's really psychological?
Objection.
I withdraw the question. I have no further questions.
All right, anyone from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor, just one. One of the questions, I believe you answered that if a claimant comes in and a reported physical injury, that's included in whatever documents that the company generates. And you noted in your psychological report, is that correct?
Yes.
And so can we conclude from the fact that there is no reference to scars or other physical injury in your preliminary report that when plaintiff first claimed, plaintiff or her counsel at the time, first claimed, made a workers' compensation?
When she first claimed workers' comp, she did not mention any injuries, not to her face or to her body. And nor did this woman see any injury to her face.
Claim, they did not report any physical injury.
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I
Thank
cannot
you.
recall.
Well, it's a
That's an
matter of
honest
fact.
Well, it's a
answer.
matter of practice.
If they had
Overruled.
claimed a physical injury, that would have been reported to you.
That
and
would have
you
been
included
reported.
in your preliminary report, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Did we get-
Overruled.
did we get the
Idiots. Y'all don't know how the doctor system works?
I would have noted it.
answer? Okay, thank
He
you.
over there
There's
overruling
one
stuff.
follow-up I forgot to ask.
Cause he know better.
Briefly.
Yeah, briefly. Thank you very much, Your Honor. There was a question the court asked you. If Emani Ellis came in 2 months after, so you saw her 2 months after, and you saw a 2-centimeter scar on her face, well, how do you know today if you really saw it or you didn't see it? Isn't it true that you don't know? It might have been there and it might have not been there. Is that fair?
Objection, argument, there's speculation.
She said she looked this lady in the face for at least about an hour to an hour and a half. You think she didn't see a scar on her face? A fresh cut? Y'all saying she cut her face. And that the scar was so bad and damaging that she had to go seek some extra medical people to look at her face. Like, come on now.
All right, can this witness be released?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, why don't we take a break until 3:15?
All right, what's next?